In Nigeria's capital, the polls didn't open as early as they were meant to, but the mood was nonetheless upbeat. Sandra Ofo, who wants to see her country move in the right direction, told us how relieved she was to have voted.
Finally. I feel like finally, oh God, it's done with. Because we've been, Lord, we've been, waiting on this day for how many months now?
For those practicing their civic duty, the significance of this day could not be overstated. No matter the heat, no matter the length of the lines, people waited.
Despite the delayed start earlier in the day, things have gone smoothly here at this polling station. And everybody I've spoken to say they're prepared to stay here as long as it takes to ensure they can cast their ballot.
At a polling station in the battleground state of Lagos, panic after gunfire broke out. Armed gunmen in a minibus fired shots in the air and snatched ballot boxes at the voting station in Falolu Junction. Earlier, Lagos's police chief had issued a stern warning to anyone planning to provoke unrest.
We will identify you, we will isolate you, we will apprehend you, and will bring you to justice.
For voters here, growing concern not just over the high cost of living, but even what might happen after this vote.
If this goes wrong, that means that we don't have a say in our country.
In the southeastern city of Enugu, ballots were delivered late. Voters, both tired and bored, wondered when booths would finally be set up. Polls were scheduled to close by afternoon, and many worried they might not be able to vote. Nigeria's Independent National Electoral Commission said some areas had experienced irregularities and tried to offer reassurance.
Anybody who was on the queue before 2:30 will be allowed to vote, even if voting goes well beyond the official closing hours of the polling units.
18 candidates are running for the presidency, but only 3 are seen as having a realistic chance of winning. Also up for election are hundreds of seats in parliament. In this hotly contested election, voters only know one thing for certain. No matter who wins, the challenges ahead will not be easy. Mohammed, Jamjoom, Jazeera, Abuja.
Let's take a look at the main contenders for the presidency. Bola Tinubu is the ruling party candidate. He has previously served as the governor of Lagos. Atiku Abubakar is one of Nigeria's richest businessmen. He served as vice president and was a presidential candidate for his People's Democratic Party in 2019. Another front-runner is Peter Obi of the Labour Party. At 61, he's the youngest of the 3 main candidates. He has a big following amongst the youth and surged in opinion polls in the lead-up to Saturday's vote. Nisha Zori is the director of the Executive Vice President's Office at the Open Society Foundations. She explains what's at stake in the elections.
People want something different. And on the back of the NSAS protest in 2020, young people, for the first time, just sort of said, you know what, we're tired of the status quo. And so leading up to the elections, the primaries last year, Peter Obi moved from PDP to the Labour Party. And to be honest, I don't think he would have expected this type of energy around him. But really what's going on with the elections, 2020 elections, is a referendum on the last 24 years and how PDP and APC have managed Nigeria's affairs. It's young people that have foiled the election so far, an obedient campaign. If you look at the breakdown of the people with their PVCs and people who registered, we had like at least 20 million new registrants added to the register between the 2019 elections and the 2023 elections. They just thought it would be a cakewalk, an incumbent party will win, that's the APC. PDP thought, okay, we've been in power for 16 years, we'll build on what we've had. And they didn't see Obi coming out of left field. I don't think even Obi understands the appeal that he has. People ask, so, but why not any of the other 16, 14 other people? And I think then you'd say it's because Peter Obi is accessible. Because as a governor of Anambra, he was the kind of person who would carry his own bags. He didn't travel by private jet. He's accessible to the regular Nigerian in the way that the big men of Nigeria, the Tinubus, the Atikus, are not. We can find him on a flight, which is not something you find with the others. So it's that accessibility. And then he definitely also had, in a way, he's like Buhari from the East, which is ironic. Buhari came on this very strong reputation of integrity. Obi has something similar. The big win is that clearly the young people have shown that when they put their back behind a particular candidate, they can push that person as far as possible.